Are you tired of being awesome alone? Well, so are we. Patreon has a newsletter. What the what? Let's go be awesome together. Oh, like Kermit the Frog. We are back, everybody.
Hi.
Last
Who
week
are you?
We missed out. Hey, I was here before last week, I think. Maybe. Possibly.
You were here, I think. I don't know. I was sick. I was very sick.
You got run over by the sick bug when we went to Multiverse.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but there was fevers. I broke it 3 times and then I did too. By the way, PSA. When you get sick, take time to recover. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Maybe
And
go
then
to a doctor before you wait for 2 weeks.
shut up, Charles.
Yeah.
Shut up. Hi, Earth Station Boo. And to be fair, I also got food poisoning.
I don't know about fairness. You know,
It did not make things better, is what I'm saying.
I'm sure
Earth
it did.
Station Boo, I've missed you. I do. I feel about 85, 90%.
Okay.
So,
Well, that is better for sure.
yeah, I haven't had a fever in a while. And outside of getting food poisoning, I was doing pretty good. And then I wasn't. I missed you too. And I'm so sorry for last week, everybody. It is my fault that nothing went out because it was crazy here.
Things happen.
Yeah, so
It was a long day for both of us.
it was. So, Charles, did you have a good Halloween? What did you guys do? You have kids.
Yeah, I don't do any of that. That's not my thing, man. I made a fire in the backyard and sat and drank some beer and watched some TV on my projector
Well, I have to say, the fire in the backyard is actually very traditional.
for Halloween.
Yeah, bonfires
Burn
at
the
Samhain.
witches.
Well, no, it's Samhain. It's the Celtic New Year. So there's a lot of fire. Just makes sense.
Sure, I'll take that.
Just,
What
just
I'm sure
nod
you
your
can
head, Charles.
you're in as a traditional thing too. You know, it
Yeah,
was the
no,
nectar of the gods to make sure you made it through All Hallows Eve.
it's
Uh,
true. Because I was with. Ooh, I need to answer a question for my husband. So entertain the people.
all right, well, I'm going to start talking about Shelf Watch since it's been a hot minute, and my shelf is right now that I'm very frustrated with people, just kind of in general, and there's days where it's very close to me just giving up on everything but the podcast and saying screw it, I'm going to work on the ambulance. So it's just frustrating. It's like just consistently there's two major things I see wrong with the world today. No consequences for things, which is not really anything we're diving into tonight,
Nope.
and just dropping the balls on the little things. And I could go on and on and on about it, and I'm sure I do it too. And I'm not naming anybody's name, but it's like at some point, as a independent creator, contractor, service person, it's like the little things matter, and the little communication matters, and it just I don't know. That's so I'm not giving up on anything yet, but tonight I was just very frustrated and tired. I was like, you know what? Chad let me down. Not,
Oh,
we'll get
no.
degraded from Bishop. I got so frustrated with Chad. I was working on Phantom Face Off,
Right.
and I wanted because we're going to Conjuration in 2 weeks. So I wanted to give it more of a magical flair to it, and had set up a project, had all these rules. The first time, man, it went really great. It was almost like having a conversation. I'd throw out an idea, it'd throw 4 or 5 back. I'd refine it, we'd shape it, and then I'd go and make the final joke and put everything in the system. So like, cool, it'll be super easy. Just go through, take a few, ask for new kind of magical things. And when I started, it was not a new project, but underneath the new project, a new chat in that project. I was like,
Hmm.
yeah, I just want to take what we did and just put a magical spin on it. Some Harry Potter stuff, supernatural, these kind of things.
Good call.
It If it was a real person, it would have been fired today. I was just over its nonsense. I called it out twice. It kept looping in the same. It's like you are stuck. on these answers. Why? You have a whole rule set. What do I need to do differently? Get you off. Oh yeah, no, thanks for catching that pattern. And then 5 questions in, it went right back to it. I finally gave up on that one. Went back to the first conversation, just started asking some of the same questions, and it flowed better. Makes no sense. Actually, in between all of that, I went and had it revised the rules because you only have 8,000 characters in the rules because it kept adding and adding and adding. So like copy, paste, refine all of this, make a rule that says you got to search the internet, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And that second one just it was he just can't get right. That's what it was. It can't get right. So I was it was when it was going to be a happy creative day, it was a frustrating day. So that was
I'm
my shelf
sorry.
watch.
Well, I hope our time together this morning was at least good.
It got us there. We did 4 episodes with one
5?
being planned. Well, technically
Yeah,
we planned 5, but I don't think we fully locked in 1 or 2 of them. But yeah,
we're getting
so
there. But like Earth Station Boo said, the little things make the big stuff.
yeah.
So I'm sorry if I disappointed you at any time during the last 2 weeks or before. It'll
So
probably
we're doing
happen again.
all of time. It's Tyra gets a blanket apology for all of history if she's disappointed me.
That's it.
All right.
Because that's where I'm at. Let's just, you know. So I'm sorry if I have. I've tried to be supportive, but you never know because, you don't live in other people's shoes.
I'm gonna bus Dominic the donkey, whatever. All right, you're forgiven. Uh,
I love you so
I
much.
know.
'Cause
What's
oh, my
on
Lord.
your still non-existent shelf? I mean, you're not even in the room still. We are a
No,
month and a half past Dragon Con.
no, still not here.
Did you
Well,
still have a guest?
no, he went home
Okay.
a week ago. Yeah, a week. I don't know. The last 2 weeks are a little foggy. Just gonna be sure.
Sure.
He was here the week I got sick, and then went home on Sunday. So that was, I think, no, a week ago Sunday. I don't know, Charles.
No, that's
It's
fair.
all a blur. But he went home, and then I was sick, so I haven't had time to go through my office. So we're going to be moving some stuff to the basement because we're figuring out what we want to do down there. And I'm still coughing. And
Yeah.
so it's just a process. And so hopefully sometime this month,
Mm.
I might get a shelf.
I hope so. Because when I
Or
come
I'll
to
at
the
least be back in
house,
my office.
yeah, I mean, that's step one. Get you back in the office studio. Step two is we'll get to the shelf. The shelf will be a watch thing forever, but let's get your butt back in the studio. So when I come to your house in for winter solstice or whatever it is that you do, if it's not ready, I'm gonna hide like a baby diaper or something in there. So
Don't
when
you
you
even.
finally get the cleaning, it's gonna be like, oh my god, something died. Like, shh, get it done.
I will kill you.
We are fine with mess. Tell our Earth Station Boo, we're fine. Just clear a path to your chair. We're cool with boxes and mannequins and Magna
I'm
Carta,
not.
whatever you have in
I'm
there.
not. Well, right now my desk is, I think there's a desk there.
Did you move it out of the room at any time?
No, the desk is there. It's just covered with, because we had to move so many things, and then anyway, it's gonna be
Mm.
fine. Everything's
Earth
gonna be
Station
fine.
Boo says, hey, surf the chaos.
It's a lot of chaos in there. So,
The cave of chaos. Let's do it.
but I don't think it'll be too bad. I don't know. I just don't right now. I don't have the energy, and that's
We were
okay.
talking about that this morning. So we both need to do some work on our Patreon, which we're going to be talking about Patreon tonight. Patreon has a newsletter feature that we are eager to look at. And she was looking at Wise and Nerdy, and it's like, you get all its energy when you first get to setting something up. Oh, we're going
It's
to do
so
this,
true.
and it maybe took us an hour to. We just said, okay, we're going to work, and we got things set up, and it was
Yeah.
good. And then we just let the momentum stop, and then it's like going back to it because like all the stuff in Wise and Nerdy is wrong because it's not by
Yeah,
episode
you got.
anymore; it is by month, and we got to change up everything on there. And it should only take an hour or less, but it's almost like, oh, can I not?
Well, and it's also having to remember what the hell you did to do it. Like for me, it's like having to remember the process because every place has a different process.
Yeah, and some places make it easier than others. Um, I don't know. I just feel like I haven't gotten a whole lot of restful sleep in the last year or
Oh,
10.
that's not good.
I mean,
Well,
it's not like tossing and turning, but it's a very much a lot of, yeah, I'm pretty cool during the daytime. I have energy, and then some days you come dinner time, it's just like, I'm kind of over it. And some days it's not, and it's very much. I had some great creative days here recently and got a lot of stuff done, but yeah, and little things can throw you off.
oh yeah.
Like with Chat GPT not working, just I mean, it was just sucking the energy out of the room. It was just not getting the point. It is fixated on freaking Crowley
It does
and
that.
one other answer. It just locked. It's like, stop. You have
Ooh,
a
don't
whole
forget.
list. I said, give me a whole list of every character in Supernatural and did that, and every character in this that. Pull from these lists: Crowley, Rowena, Crowley. There's Sam and Dean Winchester, butt face. What are you doing to me? You're killing me. So
Well,
yeah, anyway.
don't forget. There's also Lord of the Rings. Just
And I'm
saying.
not doing jokes about walking. There are some Lord of the Rings stuff in there, but
Okay,
I had not really let it get near Harry Potter too much
mm,
before.
I
Um,
understand.
so I was trying to bring that anyway. It just and the thing is, it wouldn't give you the main one, obvious ones. It just kept who did keep Malfoy. It fixated on Draco Malfoy,
It's
and I'm
because it's
like,
evil.
oh my god, I'm over this. So yeah, so it is just whatever. Okay, so this is from Birthday
This is
Shaboom.
so
We're gonna
true.
jump into it, but this is very true. Some great advice I got from my dad, from how he works on his project truck, a '67 Chevy. Even if it's just 15 minutes, that is 15 minutes more of work on the project, so you don't feel like it needs to be done at once. Yeah,
True.
yeah, and I definitely have opportunities to do that, but something like Sunday mornings especially. But I find myself forgetting, like, man, what can I work on? And my brain just goes nothing, and then I pick up my phone and I flip
I
open a
do that.
game.
I know. Isn't I like I'm trying to limit my gameplay. I really got to. I've
Yeah.
just lost him. I'm lost him to a game.
Uh, yeah. So it's been whatever. All right.
So I'm going to give you a backup Chat GPT story. So one of the things that we talk about AI being really good at is sorting data and figuring out data. So one of my colleagues put in a multiple regression, and multiple regression is where you look at um, different variables that could impact an outcome. And with multiple regression, we're looking at more than one variable having an impact. Um, so he put it in there, and it's out of four variables. It said, "Oh, these two." Well, he looked at the actual statistics. He's like, but this one's significant. You didn't include it. Oh, yeah, you're right. And then it dropped one of the others out and included it. It never gave the correct answer. And I told him, I said, that's really frustrating because that's the thing that it should be good at,
Yeah.
and it's not.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the fact that I think it's trying to make us happy. And so it's
Well,
giving us,
this is definitely a thing you can make me happy on. It is very, and I mean, it's such a long chat. The first time I really built it and worked with it on, because I used it twice to flesh out. I've used it twice this year. Once for Southern Fried, and then I revamped it for Dragon Con and just used the same chat. Very long, feels very productive, feels conversational. If it didn't quite give me what I wanted, and it's very randomized. Like that was one of the first things, like randomized, and it was doing it like, okay, here's a new rule, because even if it's randomized, I'm still getting Iron Man too much or blah blah blah. You only
right.
use a character 3 times. Cool. It's tracking it. It worked.
And
And
now it's
that's why it's extra disappointing when you start a second conversation inside the same rule set and
and
it
it,
doesn't work at all. Sounds like
well,
it's a part of a freshman class somewhere I heard about that's not acting right.
well, and I think what Earth Station Boo said that it's been sticky. Like on mine today, I was getting it to do something, and it actually gave me two options and asked me which one I liked better in terms of its presentation, what it
Yeah, I've had that
said.
every once in a while, sure.
And I'm like, okay, I got to go back and look at this because they were different. Um, And they were definitely different in the language that they use. So, anyway, that's your AI update for today. Thanks for listening. So, I'm pulling
Man,
up our show notes.
so we're doing some new stuff. As you pull up the show notes, I'm going to kind of tease into it a little bit. Um, Everybody's pushing everything right now, right? All the companies are upping their game, and I'm happy that Patreon has integrated a newsletter. I'm happy to send a lot of things. I just don't use all the tools. Like I haven't used the live on there, and I think some of the other stuff. Um, but if I'm believing in the videos that I'm watching, because Adobe apparently had some kind of big announcement recently, like a big conference announcement thing. Man, some of their AI editing tools, if these were real videos that came up on my TikTok, it's insane. It's
Yeah.
insane. Like there's one that even, and again, not knowing enough about it, and that's the thing. We don't jump to conclusions of good or bad, but we need to see it and test it and play with it. But there was one editing thing that I saw that's basically and one thing was great. Like, I don't even know how you do that. It's like you showed a live recording and a train hit a horn behind the guy. As we all know, normally that just kills the video. You got to start over. Somehow,
Right.
supposedly, Adobe has the power, is about to launch the power to separate everything out, eliminate the noise, and just have that clean thing. Now that's cool because
That
that's
is
a
cool.
technology thing that still takes people to work it.
Right.
Uh, I saw one where I didn't quite understand it the way the video showed it, but basically somebody was saying something and it sounded like you could go back and rephrase it for them by editing some of the words and it looked natural, and they were posing it as like a good thing, like when somebody
It's
stumbled.
not.
I know,
It's
I get that. I'd
it's
rather have the
not.
natural of okay, let me restart, or oh, I'm sorry, or fumbling over your words, instead of somebody having the ability to rephrase it. I mean, technically it's stuff that was said in the actual video, looked like anyway.
But
So not
phrasing
all,
matters.
yeah, not all new things are good or great. Not all change is scary. And
Yeah.
one of the first things you asked about Patreon is like, oh no, can you upload like
Hmm.
addresses and stuff? And it does not look like it. It does look like, just start us off on this whole conversation, that to get a newsletter from us on Patreon, which we're going to be doing one on Beyonce, you've got to join the Patreon. And that means we got to do some paid tiers, but you can join for free
Right.
and you'll
We'll
still
always have
get
a free tier.
the newsletter. But there is, if you like Bob, our friend Bob, has built a newsletter list, it does not look like he could just pull the names that said yes on his newsletter list and move them over to Patreon. But if you've
Right.
not done one, to me, and Tyra and I looked at it some today, and we've got the notes here that we're about to
Yeah.
jump into. But it does look like it's a good starting jumping off point for people like us who haven't really touched doing a newsletter.
Well, and so it violates one thing for me. That you should own the platform that you're doing something like that off of. So like Bob's where you sign up for his newsletter is on his website.
But it's still
So
powered through MailerLite,
yes,
which
he
we're
powers
all
it through MailerLite, but he can download everything from MailerLite in a heartbeat.
true.
So
So, but to my understanding, with a newsletter, everything is so secure nowadays. Even if I were to jump from one Mailchimp, I think I saw this on is like you jump from Mailchimp to MailerLite, but everybody still has to double agree to getting
yeah,
all the laws that were passed. So um
there's still
we
got
on Patreon, we'd still be able to download the emails. We just can't upload them to Patreon.
right. So that's to me, as long as I have the ability to grab the emails if I need them. Because let's say Patreon goes off. Let's say Patreon acts like StreamYard.
Yeah, somebody buys them and starts crazy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and triples the price. Then I'm going to want to be able to download that list so I can send them one last email through Patreon, but then also say, "Hey, I'm going to sign you up here. You're going to get an email. Please, click and subscribe again."
Yeah. No, I get that. And that's it. I from the waiting in the shallow end this
Yeah.
morning. I'm not worried. I think we're easily just kind of looking at it, cracking it open.
Yeah.
We haven't had enough time to play with it. We have two people on our Patreon, so you guys are going to start getting some
Yay.
test emails coming out soon. And go sign up. It's free.
Yeah,
Patreon.com/be awesome together. We'd love to have you. Um,
we would. And I think it's a great place since we don't have, like, it's going to be the place where we offer workshops or classes or
yeah,
other content. It for us makes sense. So I think that's one of the things you have to consider when you
yeah.
decide to
So that
venture
goes
forward.
into why Patreon. Can we get a PA? Get her an inhaler, please. That's in the contract. Y'all, somebody's messed up. I don't know.
I
We're
forgot
firing
to
some people today. We're
I
not putting up
forgot to
with this
take
on our show.
I forgot to get my cough drops.
I did. That PA's fired. You're supposed to be waited on hand and foot. That's part
I
of your
would love
contract.
that.
Yeah,
Do
no,
you, do you know that that's like one of my dreams?
to be waited on hand and foot.
Well, that would be great, but to have a PA is actually my
Yeah,
dream.
no, to have a personal assistant. Yeah, yeah, they're great. I had one for
Who
a little
could
while.
go run and get me my cough drops. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
so I'm just kind of looking at our show notes today, and really what we're looking at today is, um, where did I put it? Sorry. Um, what we think about Patreon for a newsletter, but what are some of the things that you can do on Patreon when you think about it? And Earth Station Boo is with a network called ESO, and ESO is on Patreon, and they have different tiers, and they offer different sneak peeks for things depending upon what tier you are. So that's how they're using it. Bob has his two classic tiers, cheap, little more cheap, or yeah, cheap and a little more cheap. He does not charge big things. You get the same thing regardless of which tier you choose. It's just how much you want to support him. So just like he talked about on our
Okay.
show, he has like, and for him, um, and he's talked about this before. One of the things was that when he promised too much, he freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it, you know how when you like or like, oh, I'm going to give you X, Y, and Z. And then all of a sudden life happens or you just can't get to it. And so he would feel bad and then he'd fall further behind. And then it's just, you're chasing the tail, right? And so he made a decision to promise very little, deliver a lot, which he does.
Yeah.
He actually delivers more having promised a little and is able to keep up with it. And he's actually got more subscribers now than he used to.
I think on Wise and Nerdy, we should just call it the dad tax and have the different rates. It's like, the dad tax is like, hey, I bought you 10 wings. Well, there's only 9 here. Yeah. That's because I had to bring it home. I ate one on the way home, man. That's the dad tax. But yeah, I like the idea of you're supporting the
Yeah.
creator. And it because we I like pushing people into situations they're not supposed to be in. And as parents and Wise and Nerdy, you're not supposed to pick your favorite. So one of the benefits now I'm thinking as you're talking about, I was like, hey, you're getting all these benefits, which are the same on every level, but more love. Now you're more favoriter than the other people. You're the favorite kid, that kind of thing. Uh, my friend Run Jump Stomp, Bill Fairchild,
Mm-hmm.
he has off and on created a bunch of different shows, some of them simultaneously that were just different. Some were covering games, some were talking about this thing over here. So he had one place, period. And for I think it was $1 a month. Like you could always pledge more than that. But I
Right.
think he only had the one tier, and it's like for $1 a month, you get ad-free versions of every show that he did. So instead of having
Oh,
different patrons for the different shows, it was all him and
that makes
you go with
sense.
there. And it did. It really does make sense. Uh, I haven't found the right offering plate to pass around yet. We've got some supporters on Wise and Nerdy for sure, but
Yeah, you guys definitely do.
hard to find that niche. Like Botched got it well at one point early on. I think they're redoing it now, but early on they actually had a need for like a $50 a month. I think they've always done there by the month pledge, and that there's only so many seats, like 5 seats,
Right.
because at that level it got you like a monthly game with the guys and more like influence over the show and different things like that. And for a hot minute people wanted that and they fought for the spots.
Right.
And the people who've been in them have held them for a while, and they're actually, from what I understand, going to redo that tier because nobody's interested in the rewards. But you can still, I mean, that's the thing. You can still always pledge higher. So giving back to people on Patreon, giving that connection, giving that insight. I think it really is about building community, and that's how I've seen a newsletter. And you and I were talking about different ideas today. But what's something, Tyra, that you look for if you're going to support on Patreon somebody?
So I actually I went through the people I support today while we were talking about this, and somebody I've supported since 2019, and I don't actually often listen to his podcast, is Finn Dower's Irish History podcast. And I think I donate like $5 a month. That's nothing crazy. But what it helps him do, and what I think is important, and the reason I support him, is he is collecting stories about Irish history and about dispelling myths and building an entire collection about the history of the Irish and what they've gone through and the wars they fought and everything. And for me, as somebody with Celtic heritage, I really appreciated the level of accuracy and historical value that he was putting out there. So I give him $5 a month because that helps him hire a research assistant to be able to put out more content. And
Okay.
so for me, that was really good. I also, there were two artists that I supported because I got postcards every month of their art. And now I have a lot of postcards that I don't know what to do with. So we're pausing. I support the ESO network. Um, they're, my friends. I listen to a lot of their shows. So I'm a baseline supporter, nothing exciting, but I know that at least I'm helping um, them be able to do what they do.
Yeah, I get that, and like I support like in Salma's Odyssey as a producer on the show. I also put in a little bit of money on Patreon, and our station base says thank you for your support. Uh, yeah, um, I don't see that's where my biggest difficulty comes from is I don't connect that way with
Mm,
people. So I don't know exactly what to offer 'cause I don't have anything. If it's something I resonate with, then I can go, oh, I can duplicate that, right? I know this thing I can put out there. Uh, I've copied a few things I like. Like if you look at the Wise and Nerdy one, there's a Scotch Katir one
yes,
where
that was
it's if you
funny.
donate at that level. It's got a nice stained glass thing with cigar and booze. But it's like if you donate at this level, if you meet me in the real world, I'll buy you a scotch. Because that's part of the show. It's like I like scotch and these kind of things, or coffee if that's your choice. Um, and I borrowed that from Night Attack. Before they were Night Attack,
Oh,
it was not safe for work. Yeah, NSFW and something like that. Anyway, they it's really not the show. It was really the comedian magician on there, Brian Brushwood, that one of the things he did is they sold merch. If you came up and showed like he had a magic shot glass or he had a flask that the shot glass was locked into it and you took it out and all that, and he had a ring that was some kind of secret decoder kind of ring because he does
oh, that's fun.
scam school and those kind of things. So basically if you bought his merch and then in the real world you went, hey, I've got your ring, he would share a drink with you. And like at Dragon Con, that literally entailed him coming through the line before their show. And if he showed his ring, he's like, here's a quick shot, cheers, move on. I'm like, okay, and I'm watching all the people, he won't remember their names, right? Because it's not
No,
that kind of interaction. It's
right.
not like they're going to be best friends forever or that they got a huge amount of time with him. But man, they love that 5 second, 10-second interaction of, hey, I got this. Cool. Here's a little shot. We did something together. You can say you're more special than most other people in this line. I mean, that's kind of what it is, right? It's
Yeah,
like
no,
I'm
for
the cool
sure.
kid. I'm in the know. And um like I was watching Mobland last night with my wife, and it's I could have told you he's in it, so I try to tell you he's in it, but it's very English in its nature. And
Okay.
it made a reference to a very old English comedy skit show that for the life of me, the Little Britons, something like
Oh,
that.
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, and they did a skit that was my family's favorite called "Computer Says No," and it's this horribly dumb, funny skit. And it's been a decade easy since it's been on, but he says the line in the show like he's discussing this thing before they kill somebody. Da, da, da. He walks up to the guy, he's all bloody. He goes, "Yeah, computer says no, mate." And he goes on. I was like, "Oh, and I went, if you know, you know." My wife, because I hate that you said that. It's like, but it's real here. It's real because we know the reference. Everybody else is going to be like going, "Okay, it was just a line," you know. But
Right.
yeah, um,
There is something about feeling included.
right,
Like,
yeah,
I would say that Karen Hellion is somebody I've supported on Patreon for a long time, and she really fosters community. Particularly with her, she has some political stances, and her community is definitely all about supporting those and supporting her. And for her, that money coming in for Patreon lets her have a a
he has no
dog.
sock.
He has no sock, and he's not getting one either. But it gives her a cushion to be able to be a full time artist. And I know there's lots of YouTube channels that also have Patreons that help them be able to support their work. Nikki Daventhal is one that I give like $1 to a month, but it goes to canine rescues. So,
So you're
and you know
looking
how I
more
love that.
for. It seems like you're resonating more with supporting somebody in a life that you want, right? They're on the edge of being a creator, so you can help them a little bit with $1 or 2, and that's easy. And also making change in the world because at not one time
Yes,
so far have you really said, "Oh, because this artist lets me get this thing every month, or answers this question, or I get to have a one-on-one session with them." You know, you're more resonating with what you're putting out into the world, whereas I tend
absolutely.
to resonate with what I can give to people, right? Not stuff, but access. I love community, and I've had to start thinking less like church because at church, right, the doors are open to every. Let's just talk theoretical church. We're not trying to get into religion, all that, but the
Supposedly.
function of what I saw growing up. The doors on Sunday are open to pretty much everybody. You come in, you can get the sermon for free. Let God bless you, whatever.
Right,
Commune with people, and you can leave those who really want to give, and then there's always a hardcore group of people who are really making the bills work. You know,
right,
they're like, "We believe in this project." And I won't call it that, right? You know, we believe in this project, we believe in this person. We're gonna keep moving this forward. Um, and part of that's good, but that's kind of where I want to build more community of the podcast is the church. That's the doors.
right.
Anybody can see the podcast for free, and we're going to give our best work in the moment here. But truly, I'm trying to refine that moment up because I've always felt guilt about it, but now I realize kind of what Gary Vaynerchuk meant, which says the information is out there. You can go learn it anywhere. You
Right.
know, I'll give you the information for free. That's me in podcasting. I'll talk about anything, anywhere for free in podcasting. But you want me to do it, my time is valuable. And I've never had to do it in my mind of like I'm exchanging services. But I'm starting to realize with what we do at cons and how I actually am now mentoring some people, some I'm tutoring some students in EMS, and that's valuable, and it's helping, and they're valuing it, and they're paying me for that. I'm like, okay,
That's good.
that's what I want to do is we need to have a larger connected community that the doors are not open on, except for a small, barely inconvenience, and we don't know what that's going to be yet. Dollar a month, $5 a month, we don't know. But you're like, what? But you're charging. This is me talking to myself, right, Tyra? But you're charging, yeah, because anybody can come and take this and not use it, right? But
Right.
when it's my time to put in that community, to be involved, to say something, to do what we're talking about wanting to do with the community, which is really empower it's Hogwarts for creators. We're really just empowering the different style of creators, and we're gonna have, you know, we could have the writer's house,
That'd
so
be
we
kind
can
of
have the
fun.
song house, and you know, um, I'm sure you super geeks that love Harry Potter can come up with something fun. And I'm there for it. I just it's not my world. Uh, but that's the thing is okay, if I'm gonna sit down and even interact with you for 30 minutes in Discord, I anticipate, not that I think everything I say is going to change your life, but I anticipate because that's how energy works. If we're putting in something together, it's going to help you do something. So therefore, there's a value for value. There is Tyra. I'll throw it to you here. How many
Oh,
times have you been in a creative thing, paid or not, that it's an energy vampire, right?
mm,
It's not a creative flow, which I unfortunately, well, not unfortunately for my pocketbook, for my bank account, I will do for free any day. You catch me in a moment that I'm not super distracted or busy, and I can jump in on your idea and start spitballing with you. I light up,
right.
and I will do that no matter what for free because I'd love to charge for it, but it's just I'm not going to stop a conversation and go. It's much like a celebrity at Dragon Con. If you run into them in the elevator, they might politely say, "I'm tired. Please, no pictures, no thing."
Well, you
But
shouldn't.
they're
You
not going to
should
say
a never ask for a
right.
picture. Period.
Well, let's say they go out to eat and it's not a Dragon Con attendee, right? They just run into public somebody. Most It seems like most decent actors, comedians, creators, in the moment, like, sure, why not? Let's take a selfie, take a picture. They're going to be in a situation like Dragon Con where I have found most if somebody just runs into him somewhere, like I ran into John, I can't think of his last name, but he's in Big Fish, and at the time he was about 5 years out of that stupid one that split the universes and had Spock in it. It doesn't matter. I'm losing my mind. But anyway, I really like him as an actor. He was outside the Hilton smoking a cigarette with his handler. And I started to buzz past him, saw who it was, circled back, and just went, "Hey, man, I've loved you in Real Big Fish." And I named off some of the other more obscure works that I really
Right.
loved. Man, he's like, "Oh, man, thank you." Fringe. Fringe was the name of the show. It's like, and honestly, your character
Oh yeah, Shane
was
loved Fringe.
really on point. He was the crazy dad. John was the crazy dad.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, and I was like, and he's like, he was ready to engage, and we were going to have a conversation. And I was like, "Man, I just appreciate you. I got to run, but I thank you for all your work." And he's like, "Oh man, thanks." And the handlers, he was just smoking a cigarette too, and that's
Right.
what I'm talking about. He would not have said, "I can't talk to you. Come see me at my booth." And so that's kind of where I'm bringing it full circle back to what I'm saying is like, if I'm somewhere and you start asking me a question, I'm probably going to give you 5-10 minutes of undivided attention as much as I can, and spitball something with you and coach you on something or invest energy into you. I'm not going to go, "Hey, love the question. Check out the podcast this week. We'll answer it." Or "Love the question. Go to patreon.com/be
Right.
awesome together and join my community. And then you can ask it to me." So I'm saying all that to myself, and I'm sure there's other creators out there like me are walking through this hand in hand with me, going, "It's okay to say the majority of my focus is going to be on the people who pay for it because they're proving in the only way they can in this world that they're invested." And what I mean by that is obviously, Tyra, you and I have proved to each other. We could probably go down a million things. Maybe we will on our
Right.
gratitude show. Maybe we'll try to remember how we've proven to each other that we're here for it. We've invested time, energy, and space into each other. Um, and not necessarily, I don't think either one of us has paid each other for anything other than a meal here or there.
Mm-mm.
Uh, but that's not how the internet works. So I've rambled a little bit, but I think you understand that hesitancy that some creators have of, but if I ask for money, I might not affect that person who needs me. I could tell you from being broke, you'll find a way to get to where you can meet the person that you need.
We have slightly different takes on this.
All right, hit me.
Um, I just don't. For me, in terms of helping people, the goal for me is not to get money. It just isn't. It's never going to be. That's never going to be who Tyra is. Now, if I help you and you found that helpful and you want some more of the things that I do, like a workshop, or you want to take a class with me, or you want to do those things, then that's great because those are things that I can already have out there for you to go and participate in. But I never want to be in a situation where I feel like I have to turn the switch to get somebody to pay me to do something.
I
Like
think we're kind
I
of talking about the same thing.
Okay, because to me that's not a happy place. To me, is
Right. That's so we are kind of talking about the same thing of going, okay, how do we bounce? Here's a question. I know it's still in the Patreon realm, people.
yeah,
Look,
we are totally not on anything we're supposed to be talking about.
you want to complain, you can email us, be awesome together at gmail.com. and it's $5 per complaint for us to address it. That's how that
It's
works.
free if I address it. Little
I have
Charles.
to make a
Charles.
complaint. Come on, you want to ask us advice? We'll write you back advice. You want to complain? $10 now to complain. All right. But no, we're talking about saying this, some of the same things. So how do you balance
Right.
the theoretical extremes of we taught the people, we teach, we help, that's part of our nature, that's this side of the swing, right? Just always out there. My best reference is being Gandhi, right? Just always out there making the world a better place and
Right.
not worrying about materialistic needs, notwithstanding food, blah blah. I'm not even talking
Right.
about the
Right.
concept
Right.
of economics. I'm talking about the creativity of how do you balance the help with. We have both been taken advantage of
Oh,
by
heck yeah.
people who could pay us and didn't, and
Yeah.
they used us and used us and used us. And that I'm not blaming people, but you know what I'm talking about, right, Tyra?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
we
for
we
sure.
how do you balance that swing?
You learn who those people are. Like the biggest thing, by the way, Earth Station Boo just made a good joke. How
Yeah,
dare you not stick to the script and stuff, surf,
and so yeah.
stuff.
Oh, you killed Tyra, boo. Now she's gonna be a ghost.
I am so sorry, but I don't even remember what I was gonna say. But the biggest thing in life, like the thing that I'm like finding out as I get older, is, and actually Taylor Swift said this. Your energy is a luxury item, and you should be very careful who you spend it with.
Okay,
And I think
and
that's true.
yeah,
I think that's super true. That the older you get, at least for me, the better I get at discerning who I need to just, oh, so good to see you, and walk really quickly. I'm so sorry. I have to go to the loo. I mean, or no, I'm
well,
sorry. I'm so overbooked.
okay, there's that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Saying no again.
I've
Uh,
never had Fisherman's Friends cough drops.
our station says I'm sending you a box of Fisherman's Friends cough drops. Brought to you by Taco Bell. When you have the coughs, go to Taco Bell, get them a ha blast. It'll cure it right away.
So I have to tell a story on Charles.
Okay.
He calls me the other day. He's coming back from somewhere and he's like, "Hang on, I got to order lunch." And I'm like, "You're at Taco Bell."
I was. Yeah, I'm serious, man. I only really fight for, and fight being a funny word. I mean, I only really sneak in these ads for things I really, really want to be. It's the one fast food place I actually worked at and didn't hate after I worked at it.
Did
Now,
you really?
technically Chick-fil-A was the other one, yeah, but I was never a huge fan of I mean, Chick-fil-A is fine. Don't get me wrong. I will absolutely eat there. But I'm just not my wife who eats there 2, 3 times a week if she's out
We
and
call
about.
it hate chicken in this house.
You know, have you? All right, look, we're
They're
moving
really good to my students. I will
on.
say that.
I look there's a whole different podcast we can do to talk about that whole breakdown. My point is though, yeah, I worked at Taco Bell during a really rough time in my life. I had been on a professional on an ambulance and got let go due to reasons. And I mean, I have my opinion. They have their opinion. It's not definable. Like there wasn't anything major I did violating anything. It was just it was not the right fit ultimately.
That
And it ended up
happens.
going to from what I saw as a professional thing to working fast food again. Still loved it. Loved Taco Bell. Loved all the food. Still do to this day. So yeah, it's. I've worked at other fast food place. I worked at just about every fast food place out there that
Did
I've
you?
grown up with, and it's like, yeah, like Long John Silver's, nah, I'm not
Oh
gonna eat there
no.
anymore. Good, Anyway, all that being said,
Shane did that. Shane worked at Wendy's and he'll still eat at Wendy's.
see, I didn't work at that one. Um, but I we were talking about
Well,
here's why I like Patreon.
go ahead.
You can put stuff out for free, but you get to control that. So we
Right.
get to control the influence and the information that we're putting out. And we can, I think you said a good rule was 80-20,
Well,
80% you're giving.
80% you give, 20% you put, and
You
that's true with
paywall or
any
spell.
type of selling you're doing. If you're on social media or you're creating content, 80% of it should not be selling. It should be
Sure.
engaging with your community, offering information, helping with, I call
That's
them,
also selling. I know what
it
you mean. I
isn't,
know what you mean.
it
I,
is,
I
but
just,
it isn't. It's not direct selling. It's not in your face selling. It's not, by the way, it's Bob who puts out a newsletter, who talks about his Legos and says, "Hey, I got a summary of what happened at Multiverse on my website. Here's a link to the blog." And at the end of the blog, it says, "Hey, here's where you can buy my books." You know,
Yeah,
he's so much, but then he's saying, "Hey, there's books over here," which is great.
and the to the people who like the authors who like, I just need to sell my book. When you're putting yourself out there, you're selling. That's the world buys you, and then they
Yes,
pay for your product, and
100%.
that's and so that's obviously how we're going to set up our Patreon. Is most of it's going to still be good free content, good extra stuff. I think we're gonna have levels to our community. There's gonna be a free level to the community and then a paid level, because I find that, again, going back to the church, is there's a certain amount of energy you can put out that people just take, and then there's a certain amount that you need reflected back and feeding back and knowing that something matters. Um, and to be real, it filters out the nonsense to a point. Now we're always gonna have rules in our community, but I have found that even $1, you're putting $1 on something, even in this economy, $1 a month just open a door is nothing.
Right.
And but you will filter out the people who want to cause problems. They don't typically want to pay to cause problems.
Unless they're real jerks, in which case
Right.
we know what to do with them.
Exactly.
Well,
Um,
and I think that's the thing that we're kind of circling the cat's tail with, is we're trying to decide that line of what's free and what's paid. And I like the idea of different tiers with always having a free one. I also like the idea of different offerings, like us doing classes there, workshops, etc., and those being paid, because those, I feel like there's definitely a value that's super easy to see. I think I will say this, sometimes with memberships on Patreon, it's harder to see the value over time unless you super engage with the community. And I think that's the key to really getting people to engage, is that if you do that, then they're connected to you. They're going to support you. They're going to be part of that community and they're going to add to it. And I think that is hard. I think that's hard everywhere. But I think that's the key for the tiers, at least.
and I think what I would like to design is a creatives community center,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think we both agree on that.
but okay, so we have a rec, a county park right down the road called Johnson Park, and it is nothing per month to have a family membership, to then use the pool, to use their gym, to play basketball, like when something else is not going on. But you do not have to be a member to play in the leagues. Like they have the kids
Oh,
league,
that's
but
nice.
you do pay the league, right? There's always a
Right.
fee. But it's usually covering costs. So there's flow to everything. And what I have found is I've spent a lot of time in my past giving away free and not getting anything back from it and
Yeah.
hurting myself in the process.
Yeah. No, I
And
100% agree.
um, I mean, even some of that last job I had, you talked multiple times about how I didn't get compensated the way I should. Now I did learn things, and sometimes that is a
Doesn't matter.
compensation,
You should have been
but
compensated.
there's a lot of red flags in
Yeah.
there, and I'm glad to be free of it. And but it did teach me it's sell. Okay, we're talking about selling, right? Now ultimately, I'll be awesome together. We want to, for those who it works for, right? It's not for everybody, but for those, we want to sell workshops that will help you, truly help you get to that next level. And that's where I focus on, is like, we're not going to do, I hate, Tyra, I hate the one size fits all stuff. I really do.
Oh, and it doesn't.
It
No,
doesn't.
that's just true.
Right. So that's where it's like, okay, I want to make it worth our time to be able to take away from family, food, whatever, and give to people, blah, blah, blah. But in the meantime, that 80% is really gonna kick in. And here's something that we can help, that we can
Well,
help. Just
and
help.
the 80% proves the consistency,
Yeah.
and I think that's important. Um, I also think that, like, let's let's say there's a social media book I'm writing. Um, I'm gonna sell that social media book, but I would love to have workshops and classes that focus on different aspects of it, and
Mhm.
that is something that we can do on our Patreon. and that
Yeah.
makes sense to do on the Patreon and makes sense to be behind a paywall. Like there could be the introduction course, and then it could be, hey, if you want to learn more, here's what we have offered. Also, here's my book. Go buy it.
Yeah. uh, so the newsletter part of that,
Yeah, let's
that
go back to that. All right,
we
okay.
yeah,
What are you excited about with the newsletter? Because we actually haven't talked about that. What are you excited about us being able to do a newsletter?
it's already built into a system that I use every week is my biggest excitement, to be honest. I don't have to go learn another system. I don't
Right.
have to figure, it is stupid. It's inconceivable. No, it's not the right word, but it's ridiculous the way my mind goes. Okay, on Patreon, I can do the exact same thing, probably with less tools and less power right now than somebody who only focuses on newsletters. But I can add this, add that, do little things and send it out. I can do that exact same thing on. I set up a mailer light for one
I
EMS,
have to.
and it's just my mind's going, oh, I got to build a template. Oh, I got to figure this out. Oh, I got to get that. And that getting started is hard. But I'm already in Patreon publishing our shows. And so that gets me, it's like, oh, I can, it showed a quick drag and drop of things. Like you can drop a video in and you can drop in, or you can drop in audio. It's like, cool. I can, as I do the show anyway, I can make it a post and I can hit send to our followers. And now it's going into your inbox to say, hey, the show is here. You can listen to it. And then, secondly, and I'm going to let you take this part, but what gets me excited is how we talked about how we're trying to build this out. And then
Hmm.
it easily spreads out the workload, but really gets that magic of the different voices that we have. That's I'm excited about that. What are you excited about?
That I've always wanted to do a newsletter. Because
There's
so there's a book I read when I was in college called Living a Beautiful Life. It was by Alexander Stoddard. And that book changed my life. It changed my life because it made me realize that the little things, just like our station boo was saying before, that the little things can add up to the big things, but the
yes.
little things can also make super changes in the quality of life. So Alexander talks about when she was first like a working girl, like 22, working in New York, she would save enough money to buy a single flower because that single flower would sit in her little apartment, and she would see it and it would bring her joy. And that people spend their time, their money on things that they don't spend their time in.
Hmm.
So it's more important that your den and your kitchen, where you spend lots and lots of time, fits you than your living room. Now, for us, the living room's important. We have a bar in there. We
Hmm.
like to drink occasionally. I obviously should have had a hot toddy before this, but the one thing she did was she just wrote these beautiful, almost op-ed pieces, and she has a newsletter, and I subscribe to it. It arrives in my email box once a month. She's in her 80s now, and she just talks about her life and talks about things that are important and tries to connect with people. And I have always wanted to do that. And so for me, that's not necessarily I don't know how much I'll do that with Be Awesome Together's um, newsletter. It may end up being Tyra's corner in a like, here's your
Well, that's part
monthly.
of what we talked about is now Tyra Burton should have her own Patreon, like Charles McFall should have. I don't think I do, but just in case people, whatever. But
Right.
with the Awesome Together, we are talking to some other people to join the team that would be regulars coming in with us here to talk about things. But it is part of it rounds out what we can teach. And we haven't
Yes.
locked them in, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But
Yeah.
ultimately, there would be when we could be Charles's newsletter with whatever extras we're probably, it's all theoretical, right? We're going to go, okay, this should always be in a newsletter and then blah blah, but there's going to be the Charles flavor newsletter, then the next week will be the Tyra one, and the next week will be part B, the next week will be part C, whatever,
Yeah.
of people, and it has that flavor, and you could see from the title what it's focused on, because mine's always going to be creativity and voice and those kind of things. I didn't give a thumbs up, go away. Tyra, but mostly digital creation, right? Is my heart and how I do it. Tyra's will be some of the same stuff, obviously, but maybe more in a writing style or an op-ed piece or those kind of things. I don't know how you got hearts, but there you go. You know, that's the thing. And so hopefully, to me, one of the epitome of what a magazine should be, and a newsletter to me is a very small version of a magazine, was when GameStop first came out with Game Informer. And that magazine, I subscribed to, well, I ended up having a GameStop membership, which got the subscription for years. And man, the way they had articles written, the way they did things, the way they had it set up, and there was always a battling piece in the middle, whereas one thing, a game or whatever, had two different, drastically different opinions on it. And I don't know what you're laughing at.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay, but here's what I loved about it. I read both opinions on the game, and I did not like get all football-y on it. It's like my team versus your team. I went, oh, I disagree with this editor on everything. Like what they love, I hate, and what I hate, they love. So, but that was great. So when I learned when they love the game, okay, cool. I'm not. It's not going to be for me.
It's
That's a
not going to be
better
like
word.
that.
It's not for me. So you get those different opinions, and that's why from what I remember of it, the heart of it is like, okay, cool. Here's some good creative stuff in the newsletter, but here's maybe it'll even be a section where we take one topic and all four of us write a little something or record a little something on it, right? So anyway, but there's so many ideas. It's so flexible. Okay, hit me.
So while you were reading Game Informer,
Hmm.
I was reading Victoria magazine.
Victoria's Secret magazine, or
No, they have never they have never sized my body, so freck them. But I did own all their classical music CDs. Anyway, side note. Victoria's Victoria's Secret put out classic music CD recorded by the London Symphony Orchestra. So there you go. Just a little side knowledge from back in the day. But Victoria is a magazine that focuses on kind of cozy living is a good way to put it. And
okay,
so they would have articles on tea time and different meals and how to decorate and how just beautiful. Matter of fact, Alexander Stoddard was their writer in residence at one point. And sorry, hang on. Whatever. Um, but it was always like when I think about, okay, how would like if I had all the money in the world and I could live how I want, I would live on a cottage by a loch with just cozy all around. And so,
Sure.
funny enough, I write cozy fantasy now, which I should have figured out a long time ago. But it was all about a lifestyle and a way of thinking. And it also, of course, went with Alexander and Stoddard and how you think about life. So I find it interesting that you were off in Game Informer and I was reading a cozy magazine.
No, that tracks. And it'll play in. So
100%.
what are some of the other bullet points here?
Are you looking?
Uh,
I'm trying to look. Um,
we talked about a lot of this.
we did pretty good
Okay,
actually.
something you brought up today
Oh
was
God.
you don't like the it's not really a bait and switch, but the
Yeah.
paragraph and pay is
Yeah.
that, and I hate that too.
And we won't do that.
No, there might be, and I don't know yet, but we don't know yet. But no, there's never going to be an article on something that, hey, if you want to finish this, click it, or if you want the rest of this, there may be here's a write up on the idea, and if you really want to hear more about it,
Right.
here's a 30-minute video you can buy, or
Right.
just
And I'm okay
subscribe
with
to
that.
us and you'll get it, whatever, something like that. But yeah, you and I are the same way. Is worse. What's worse is I hate being able to find an article, and this one is about Kurt, in the trial of the guy who hit him, and they'll put it up for like a day or two, and my wife had to find the update on that, and she sent it to me, and I could read it, and I sent it to Phil, but then when I went back to talk to Phil about it, and I went to open it, oh no, you got to subscribe. You can't. I was like, I hate that so
Oh
much.
yeah.
I'm never going to subscribe to any of these newspapers, not ever. And it does make me mad. Like, okay, I get it. You won't show me the article if I don't pay for it, but don't show me a paragraph. But definitely don't show me the whole thing for a day and then say I have to pay for it.
Yeah.
That makes no
Like
sense.
that's why we have Apple Plus so that we get Apple News because that drove me crazy.
Yeah. What's something you're looking forward to doing in the newsletter?
Um, talking about the creative process. Like one of the things that for me has always been trying to share um, how things evolve or how I do things. So for me, I'm looking forward to sharing that creative process, um, helping people get started, and also just expanding on like what we talk about in the shows as well. I mean, I think there's something to be said for that because sometimes we'll get done and we'll be like, oh, I didn't get a chance to say that, or I didn't think about that, and it gives us a chance to do kind of that wrap up that isn't done by ChatGPT, that's done by us.
Right. Now, I do think a one off every month, a maybe at the first of the month of wrap up of last month, a one off. Uh, you put in the 4 episodes, right, and just a chat GPT summary of like, here's what you missed last month, and here's here you go, you can catch up on it.
We'll call that Charles's Chad corner.
Chad, the Chad wrap up. We'll
The
come up with
Chad
something.
wrap up.
I don't know because I have heard feedback from people, and everybody, see, that's the thing. Everybody's different. I do skim through Bob's because I'm trying to learn from how Bob does his. Plus, I don't want it to be like Charles subscribed and it bounced back. There's a little bit of that
Right.
in my head. Like, I don't want to see Bob.
Bah,
Bob would never
Charles
do that.
did not open the email.
Yeah, Bob. I never want to see. He would never. He's too nice. He would never do this at a conference. But I don't want to see him and be like, "Hey, man, like the last 5 newsletters I've sent out, he just kicks back from you. What gives?" Like,
Like,
oh,
I saw that you weren't opening that email.
yeah. Uh, but I have heard feedback from people that kind of maybe not an AI summary, but that kind of, hey, this is what last month covered. Bam, bam,
Right.
bam, 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 and it's all in one email. And you can. I don't know how it's going to play out from Patreon exactly. If it's going to link back to a video or how it's going to work.
Yeah, we have
But
to
if
figure
you
out the
just
mechanics.
right, we're going to test some things out. So Boo and Cause, you guys are going to get
That's
some
right.
emails coming. Um,
By
and
the way,
we'll ask
Kaz,
them.
I miss you. I think
Yeah,
she's
she's
on
still here.
vacation.
Okay, cool. Good for her. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I think they go up to Vermont or something this time of year, whatever.
They took
Uh,
a train to New York, which I just think is
okay,
awesome.
that is
I
pretty
can't wait
cool.
to hear the report back.
Um, but
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 I will say
yeah,
this, anything that we do that if AI was used to create it or created it, it will always be tagged. Um, and as a writer, I can tell you that what I write will be Tyra.
oh no,
That's just
yeah,
the
the
way that is.
newsletter, you'll know it's me. It's gonna sound like
He'll
me.
say it's Chad. We all know when Charles uses Chad.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean that. I meant like I will only use Chat GPT when it doesn't matter, if that makes sense. Like
Okay.
the show notes for this show,
Yeah, no,
it
for
matters
sure.
to just kind of give you an idea if you're that person who wants to get an idea before you listen, and searchability.
Yeah,
So that's not a
100%.
human thing mattering. So I'll do the show notes all day.
Oh,
But
yeah.
when
And
I'm
it's
trying to
great for
write you a
keywords.
newsletter and you're expecting to hear from me, it's gonna be from me. The AI thing was just a extra. So I do my own newsletter, you do yours, and blah 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 blah. But we have a fifth one that says, "Hey, here's the 4 episodes from last week," and that's a not necessarily a matter.
Here's
It's a
here's
here's a
Chad's
summary.
summary.
Exactly. For all you lazy people who
Like,
don't listen during the month. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Um, what did we miss off for notes that you really want to hit?
I see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get back in my phone because it keeps closing.
Incorporate. You see here it says incorporating guest creators. A thought
We
I've
talked
always
about
had.
that.
I would love to have an outside party,
Yes.
potentially a new party every month, actually give their insight on what they got out of the 4 episodes this month.
No, that would be cool. One thing we talked about was the difference between email, Substack, and Patreon, and we've kind of talked about
Yeah.
the difference between
I don't
email
really
and
know Substack at all.
Bob and I talked about Substack, and um, yeah, it drives me nuts. Like it is one of those things where there's a paywall. Like it's one of those where you subscribe to newsletters and you pay money for it. Um,
And that I think you need a bigger like I've heard of somebody doing it. That was this week this week to Daily Tech News Show with Tom Merritt. But that's when you're talking about that kind of his kind of level show. It's a weekly show or daily
yes,
show every week, and it's got multiple. I mean, it's a really highly produced show with lots of information. I could see you having a large enough audience, that percentage of people want to pay for a newsletter to get more information because
right.
that's a very informative show. If we might could get to that level, that is not a starter level at all.
No. And I think that that's a different commitment to it than I want to
Yeah.
make. Like that's a heavy commitment.
Yeah. That would be somebody wanting to come in and, hey, I don't want to do show stuff, but I do want to write articles based off the ideas that you talk about. Cool, we can make that happen.
Right. The other thing I had down here was income streams that, as content creators, if that's going to be not your side hustle, but your hustle, then you need to have multiple income streams. And Patreon can be one of them. Why do I have balloons?
I don't know why we have anything going on in our show
I mean,
tonight.
I know why we get hearts because I can do a heart, but I have no idea how I got balloons. But anyway, moving on from the crazy that's happening. Um, you need different income streams. So whether that's like ESO has t-shirts that it offers and different types of merchandise, which I think eventually we'll have some for
Yeah,
Be Awesome Together, particularly Surf the Chaos. We just need to probably sit down in the same room and figure
yeah.
that one out. But whether that's workshops or classes or speaking engagement, you need to figure out multiple ways to be bringing in money because the world changes, what people look for changes, and you need to be able to shift. Um, and yes, I know you would totally buy it. You were who I thought of.
No, you won't. No, you won't, because we're gonna give you one. Whatever we
Truth.
make will serve to chaos. But we know you would want to buy it.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's I think we did a pretty good job. I'm not sure that we talked a lot about Patreon itself, but Patreon has a lot more to it than it used to, and a lot more functionality and different ways than you can use it. And we're just trying to scratch the surface and see where our lines are, where our paid lines are, where our free stuff is. And funny enough, I did a chat GPT on mine, Coda. She's much better behaved than your Chad.
Apparently.
And apparently, and she actually suggested, would you like, I asked for 10 different blog post ideas for Be Awesome Together. And
Nice.
she did 10 and she's like, do you want me to break these up into like 5 free and 5 behind a paywall and why they would be different? It was awesome. I
Yeah,
have
no,
that.
that was what I was looking for today, and my AI did not
Aw,
get that
you
kind of
see,
awesomeness. Uh,
Coda loves me.
Kodachrome. You right now.
It's because Coda's a music
I know.
thing.
And it's
She's
also a
child
language
of a
thing.
deaf and
Yeah,
deaf
yeah.
inhibited.
Child of two, hearing child of two deaf parents.
Yes.
Yes, I saw that. Excellent movie. So good, so good.
So
That's why we're from. Yeah,
I have a confession to make.
this is my confession.
I was making chicken and dumpling soup before we started, and I didn't get to have any.
So it's time to go, so you can get some.
I'm hungry, Charles. I didn't even get to finish all of my
All right, I'll just finish up the show without you. That's fine. You're good. No. I was helping you
others.
out. I was helping you out.
No, that's
Oh,
not
cool.
helping.
No, it's at the end. So yeah, lots of ideas. This is the creator's corner, man. It's while we have a lot of experience. What good is experience if you're not practicing, testing the theories, and trying things
Right.
out? So if you want experts on Patreon, they're out there. YouTube, podcasts, they're there. We're not ever going to be that, but we are going to be the people who connect you from where you are to where you want to be. So tune in, tell your friends. Go ahead and start signing up for the free Patreon because there's going to be a lot of great free content coming out of it. I
And
think,
tell us what you want.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell us what you want. Ask us. We've got
I
a
mean,
small
that's the best thing. So,
Well,
Charles, what are we talking about next week?
I
Do you know?
I'm gonna look.
Have you
Hey,
looked at our show
I'm in
notes?
the. Yeah. Oh no, no. I was yes this morning, but I'm there now. So next week is going to be. Oh, it's not in the show notes. It's on our.
We're starting early with our gift getting guide for creators and also some of our favorite creators to support with their shopping dollars. It's in the show
Yes.
notes.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. So yes, that's gonna be the fun. We want to get ahead of the shopping
Right.
season. So definitely, here's the creators we like to support. Here's the cool things. Here's some cool tools and blah blah blah.
Here's some gift giving guides, hints
Yeah.
for my husband.
We are going to the week of Thanksgiving.
Yes.
We're going to do a
No.
show of gratitude,
Oh, yes.
and we need your voice and your input on that. Over on the digital media track Discord, I went ahead and put out a blast there that says you can use the Wise and Nerdy. It's an online talk voicemail thing that we have for the show. So it will say Wise and Nerdy, but of course it
We're
comes from
using Wise and Nerdy for this.
we flow freely. We're all friends here. But it's wiseandnerdy.com/call dad. And you can leave up to 90 seconds of your own voice there and just mark it your BAT gratitude and maybe your name. And yeah, email us be awesome together at gmail.com and write it in. But what are the moments that when you're down, you go, I'm grateful for this, and it brings you back up? And or what kind of gratitude makes you feel like people are truly thankful for what you do? Yeah, so it's a whole theme of gratitude and what it means to you. And we absolutely, I would love to have an episode where I talk all of 10 minutes because we're just playing clips, discussing them, playing a clip, discussing it. Duh, man.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends.
Or we're going to start an annual Shut Charles Up-a-thon.
Oh, I love that. Let's do it.
You call in and write in enough stuff. I won't have anything to say on the show.
First Station Boo, I'm counting on you. And Kaz. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I'm interested also in how do people practice gratitude in their everyday life? And I know Earth Station Boo has got some great stuff because she mentioned some of it in our Awesome Women's panel.
So very cool. Yeah, this is a time to shine and share. So we'd love to have you be a part of that. That's going to be, I think it's the 24th is the date on
23rd.
25th, according to our notes. 25th.
Who knows? We don't know who we are, where we are.
Thanksgiving. So that's
true.
going to be that. All right, Tyra, where can they find you on the web?
TyraBurton.com, because I like to make things simple and easy, and so people can find me on a place that I own on the web.
There you go. I am Linktree/RGOP42 because I like to be edgy and be where the kids are today. 6'7". So
you did not. Oh my gosh.
All right, everybody. Surf some chaos.
Save me.
And we will see you all next week. Tell your friends to listen.
Chicken and dumplings, here I come.